Hello, Enzo. Good evening.
¿Quién me
Okay.
habló?
Good evening, teacher.
Good evening. Good evening. Okay. Let's start, please. The last class we were working with grammar and lesson number 4, and so we're gonna continue today working with that. Okay. We already started with the lesson number 4, and there's gonna be lesson number 5. So, and let's continue, please, with the class. We're gonna work with some activities from the platform and also with some activities, especially about grammar. By the way, the last class we were working with lesson number 4, how it's spicy, right? But basically, there are many. Okay, no, it was we were working with with a lot of vocabulary which is related to tourism, especially with traveling guidebooks. But today we're gonna work with the review of grammar and relative pronouns, relative clauses, okay, and tag questions. But first of all, we have to check out the general review of questions, by the way. And in order to do it, let me open, please, my presentation. Because we have different kind of questions, WH questions. There are some others as well, such as, questions, indirect questions, direct questions, and all of them. Just let me open, please, my presentations, and we're gonna work with that. So that means that we're gonna start with some presentations of direct questions and things like that. Yeah, just a moment, please. It's taking its time. Well, WH questions are also very common in English. I think we didn't do that, but this is going to be a general review of questions. I'm opening my presentations. Okay. Just a moment, please. Okay, let me share, please. Let's start with WH questions. So talking about WH questions, there are, it's very common to use it in English now, WH questions. WH questions basically are the ones that are related with, in English we say generally. For example, what, where, who, all of those stuffs. Like what, right? We have which, then where, it's possible to use who, Okay, what, which, where, who, and why is possible to talk about that. And these questions, we can use with what plus verb be. All of them can be used plus verb to be or verb be. But also we can use with some auxiliary verbs for asking questions like do, or also is possible. It is possible to use does, or even you can ask questions with other auxiliaries like have or has. Sorry, have or has. It depends which auxiliary you want to use, and it's possible to use both. So for places we say where, right? For when you have when you have two options, which, right? You can choose this one or the other one. So in that case, we're gonna use which, and also we use who, right? To talk about people. When you want to ask about somebody or someone, we're gonna use who, right? Anyway, let's continue, please. And there we go. I will start mm, with the next slide. Okay, there's a story about okay, Dowlish question. It's friendly visit. There is. Could you read, please, Enzo?
That I think we have visitors.
Who are they, right? Continue, please.
Vamos a hacer ejemplos de trastornos simples.
I don't know why
Después vamos a
are
ir
they
buscando trastornos mixtos.
have
¿Ya?
some small.
Okay. Oh, they're human beings. Be kind, son. Their brains aren't very big. Enzo, we didn't do
En
this.
esta gasometría, ¿cómo está el bicarbonato?
Okay. Greetings from Earth. What is your language? Our language is. I want to practice my English, right? Okay. Can you read this one, Enzo?
Why are you here?
Continue, please. Continue reading that, please.
Or spaceship broke down. Where are we?
Hmm. Continue, please.
You are very far from home. Welcome to our planet. Would you like some iced tea?
Okay. Yes. If we look closer to some questions here, we have, for example, who are they, right? The established question with verb be. Very simple, right? Why are their heads so small? The other one is what's your language, right? What is your language? Why are you here? Where are we? That's another one, right? So, and welcome to our planet. Would you like some iced tea? That's another one. Average questions, it is used to ask for information. They cannot be answered with a yes or no. So where are you from? That's another one. And yes, for example, no, right? Where are you from is looking for information. When we have WH question, we need to provide information. We cannot only say yes or no, because yes no questions are a bit different, but WH question always will look for information. We have to answer with not with yes no. Where are you from? We are from Earth, right? And where is your spaceship? There's gonna be where's your spaceship? Where are your plans? So that's plural and singular. Use is for singular subjects and are for plural subjects. So we have another one who's who, which is who, right? Asks about people. When we want to ask about a person, we're gonna use who. Who is he? Who is she? Right? Like this. Who are you? Or who's your leader? Right? That's a person. And the other one is what asks about things. What? Right? We use what to ask things about things. What is your language, for example? I think. What are your names? Things as well. And where asks about places. Where's your spaceship? Where are we? And then we have why. Why asks for a reason. We can ask about something, about a reason. And why are you here? That's another one, right? Why? It's for a reason. Why are their heads so small? Okay, now you have to read the answers and ask WH questions. For example, it can be who are they, right? They're aliens. And let's ask a question for this one, please, Enzo.
Mm, what is your country?
Yes, it's a nice, a very smart question. But also, when we ask about, oh, where is he from, can be right? Or where are you from? Where is he from? In this case, where is he from? Where is he from? The United States. We are providing information. How about the next one? When you ask for a reason, how do you ask?
Why
Why?
are they landed?
Yes, something like that. Why are they happy, right? Why are they happy? Because they landed on the moon. How about this one?
What is no? What is your no? What is his hobby?
What is his hobby? right? What is his hobby? His hobby is soccer. Okay, so also it is possible to use contractions to talk about double questions with is in speaking and informal writing. Okay, there we go. Where's the mustard? But also we can say, where's the mustard? Contractions with double questions. What is on TV? And there we have what's on TV. Okay, and we usually give short answers to double questions. We can give long answers too. Why is your skin green, for example? Because I eat a lot of broccoli. Okay. Use the clues to ask and answer double questions with a partner. For example, a doctor, right? But how can we ask this? Who's he? He's a doctor, right? He is a doctor. And let's continue with the other ones.
No, doctor, queda ahí corto, sabor. Está normal el pH.
Where is she?
Patricia Flor.
Where is she? Can be.
¿Cómo es el bicarbonato?
And the next one.
Está en CO2. Elevado.
Who is he?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, it can be who's he?
Hay que
Yes.
agregar
Oh, sorry. He's a firefighter, right? The next one. How do you think you can ask and answer this number 3? What do you think is the question for number 3 and the answer?
Who is he?
Yes. Or what is he also, right? And the answer will be he is.
What is he? What,
He
what does he see?
Yes, the other question can be what does he see? Okay. Or why is he scared? Also, right? Why is he scared? He sees a spaceship. Okay. So that was only the first part of WH questions. But let's do something now. Okay, let's work with this. Okay, let's start, please.
Question, _________ boots are these?
What about this one?
What?
Whose? The Keynes, right? Okay. The other one?
How many?
How many? But usually when we say they're 30 pounds, how much, right? ¿Cuánto cuesta? Pounds are in British English, libras, right? What is this one? What do you think is?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? And this one?
How?
How? Okay. How old, right? He's 15. What about this one?
What kind of music do
Yes, what kind of music do you like? Very good. This one?
when have Learn Daily Gold English?
Mhm. The other one?
Who are these people?
And this?
Where are they from?
Very good. And this one?
Where does she go after school?
Very good. And the last question?
What no. What time does
Does she get up, right? Okay, we finished. And let's continue, please. Now, we're gonna continue with something interesting. According to our grammar, to the grammar of our platform, just let me see, please. There were relative clauses, relative pronouns, questions, and relative pronouns and relative clauses. But first of all, let's look at the second question. Oh, sorry, second presentation about questions. Okay, just a minute, please. Okay, let's continue, please. Okay, the indirect questions, first day on the job. Too many questions. How did the new employee do on his first day, for example? And then we have too many questions. Oh, sorry. Can you read Enzo, please? Read that, please. Enzo, are you there?
Yes, I think he did okay, but he should ask a lot of questions.
Okay. And continue reading, please.
Or what kind of question did he ask you?
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
he asked me if he could get a bigger office.
This one, I can get a bigger office. Can I get a bigger office? A question, but not WH question, right? Okay, how about the next one?
He also asked me why the previous person had left.
Okay, continue, please.
Why did the previous person leave?
Okay. He asked me who fixed the computer. For example, the original question is who fixes the computers, right? In that indirect questions, we have to be careful because the tenses can change. For example, indirect yes, no questions. Use if or whether in indirect yes, no questions. And also we can use if instead of also is whether, right? Whether or if indirect yes, no questions. Like the new guy asked if we had any more chocolate donuts. And do you have any more chocolate donuts? Can be Okay, if, right? And let's continue. Okay, can you read, please, Enzo?
And the new guy asked whether the bot like practical jokes.
Mm-hmm. The new guy asked whether the boss liked practical use, or if the boss likes practical jokes, right? Does the boss like practical jokes? He's a very crazy person, right? Can I take a break, for example, right? And now we're gonna practice with this. Will I get a rise? And we can say he asked if we would. When we have will, we have to use, for example, would, right? He asked if we would get a rise. Now there are more. Sorry, or he asked whether he would get a rise, or he asked whether or not he would get a rise. What about this one? How can you change into a indirect question?
Um, they asked
They asked,
uh, if he,
they asked if the company provided a car, right? But we have to check the for the grammar. Usually, if it's sim if it's present, it's gonna be past. If that is past, it's gonna be future or past continuous. No, yes, past perfect. Sorry. And how about number two? What do you think? How do you think we can use write an indirect question for that number?
she asked if
What about number two?
she asked if have a company credit card.
Okay, she asked if we can use or whether, right? But what comes next? What about number two? She asked,
If I have company credit card.
okay. She asked whether she could get a company credit card. What about number three? What about the last one?
Did he order? I asked if he ordered a new computer.
Okay, sorry. Just a moment, please. Can you give me something I have to do? Can you give me just 5 minutes, please, Enzo, please?
Okay, teacher.
Yes, please. Sorry, let's continue, please. This exercise was basically to do like this, right? Can I have a company credit card? She asked if she, or whether, right, it's possible to do that. But what is this? I asked whether or not he had ordered a new computer. In the question, we can use whether or if. So also, mm, we have to use question words in indirect WH questions also, but not exactly like usually we used to ask with WH questions. This is a bit different since this is like the new guy asked when the next office party was, right? But we don't need to use a question mark. It's completely different if we compare with the other one. When is the next office party, for example? That's another one. And he also asked how many copies he could make. How many copies can I make? Right, that's one way of indirect. And we have to use statement word order, subject plus verb, not question word order for indirect yes no questions. He asked me if I could turn off the fax machine. Right, in that case is, can you turn off the fax machine? So also word order is important when we talk about a statement word order, subject plus verb. Usually it's going to be like I are, no, I am, right? Something like that, generally. He asked why the meetings lasted so long. Um, in that case, it's part of this. Why do the meetings last so long? The other one is the statement order. In this case, the same, right? But he asked who made the coffee, and like the question can be who made the coffee, right? This is a bit not difficult. It's easy, I can say. But let's continue. We have to be careful. If a direct question about the subject has the form of question word plus be plus noun, then the indirect question has the form of question word plus noun plus be. For example, he asked what was the dress code and what is the dress code, right? But we have to change. Oh, sorry. What the dress code was, right? It's like this. What when does it happen? That happens when if a direct question about the subject um, has the form of question plus question be what is the dress code? What is the question word? Be is and the noun, right? The dress code. In that case, we have to change the position. He asked what the dress code was. And then we have auxiliaries. In indirect questions, do not use the auxiliary do, does, or did. He asked me, do I have any new video games? And do you have any new video games, for example? And the punctuation. In indirect questions, do not end with a question mark. End with a period. Okay, sorry. The next one, he asked me if I could wake him up in an hour, for example. In that case, could you wake me up in an hour, right? But he asked me if I could wake him up in an hour. So do not end with a question mark. Never, right? It is just a period. Now we have to change and so from these questions into an indirect question. Where is my office, for example?
She asked, yeah, um, if have office.
Yes, she asked where her office was, right? We have to use the same the question word. Where is my office? She asked where her office was. And how about this one? Let's think about that, please. You're gonna have a couple of minutes to answer that.
They asked, what's the name of the company?
Yes, what's the name of the company, right? But what's they asked what is the name of the company, right? Or what the company or what the name of the company was. I'm sorry, the next one, what do you think is the next one?
We asked how many people work for the company. What?
Yes, how many people, but in this case, how many people worked for the company, right? What is the special detail that we have to take in account here? How many people work for the company, right? Present, we have to use past, right? The same happens in the other one. What's the name of the company or what's the name of the company? He asked, right? He asked what in past. How long has the boss worked in the office? Now is worked is in the past. Now what do you think is?
I asked how long has the boss worked in the office?
Okay. Has how long or I asked how long the boss had worked, right? When we have in past, we have to use the past perfect. When we have the question in present, we have to use like in this, right, in past. And when we have the question or the statement or the question in past, we have to use past perfect. Okay. Now we're gonna work with one activity about this. Okay, let me share this. There's a video, short video lesson, but let's do it. An example of a direct question is not an indirect, a direct question. What do you think is?
Do you know? Do you know where my wallet is?
But what is that your wallet, right? It's something direct, but do you know where my wallet is? Yeah, it can be also, but something simple. Okay, an example of an indirect question is
Will I be able to get a taxi later?
okay. No, I wonder if I'll be able to get a taxi later, because usually it won't have a question mark, right? What about that? Which phrase doesn't begin an indirect question?
I wonder.
Okay. What is the reason, right? All of them are indirect. In this case, this is a what is a direct question. But no, what phrase does not begin an indirect question, right? This one, because what is the reason is a direct question. In indirect question, the verb be
Entonces debemos tomar la competencia.
Subject?
Yes, right? Subject. But I hope it's okay. The verb. Sorry, verb only, right? But it was verb be. Verb comes after the subject, but verb be also is possible. Direct, do you study English? What about that?
if you study English?
If you studied English. Oh, sorry, it was if you study English, sorry. What's your name, for example? What do you think is in the question?
Can you tell me your name?
What your name is, right? Can you tell me what your name is? But no worries, we're gonna practice with some other ones. Okay, let's work please with this. We're gonna order the words using indirect questions. Now, please, let's do it.
And can you tell me how to no how to get no, how to get pizza?
Yes, can you tell me how to get to the station, right? And number two,
Where do you know where is road by baby is?
okay, yeah, but it was good, right? The name is Valley Road. Okay, the next one.
Excuse me. Mhm. Do you know uh, if there's if there's a coffee near here.
Okay. Mm, do you know if there's a coffee? Is there's a cafe near here, probably, right? How about number 4?
O puede
What about number 4?
Uh, is, is there is a taxi, no, a rank taxi.
aquí hay otro ejemplo. Si te ponen
Is there a rank
25, algunas son 30
a taxi rank near here?
Very good. What do you think is?
Um, can can you tell me tell, tell me whether the cinemas near here?
But can you tell me where, oh, whether the cinemas
Cinemas near here?
near here? And number 6?
Um, is there a news agent near here?
Very good. Okay, let's work with one more example. What is the option number 1? What do you think is?
Where do you live? No, where do you live?
Number 2?
Whether we know them.
Okay.
¿por qué se está elevando?
One,
Porque hay una tensión.
when the play. Someone one know if he can go out late.
Okay. Number 5.
How much the ticket cost?
6.
If we had the homework last night,
Okay. Okay. But what about number 6? Okay, let's check. Hmm. In this case, it must be this one, right? Okay, let's continue with the other one that I have. But let's work with the review questions, but with our platform. Okay, please let me share this and let's work. Sorry. Oh, what happened here? Okay. Okay, now it's better. Let's work please with this. You have to look for who, what kind, where, how, whose, and what's, when, and how much, including what. But what about here? What is Paul's answer? What is that? What is that? Enzo?
Mm, where?
No, I don't think so. Why don't we ask, why don't we put what kind? Sorry. On the next one,
Who's playing?
okay. The next one, what about this?
What are you going with?
Where are you going with? When we say with, usually we refer to a person. In that case, it must be who, right? The next one,
How much are the tickets?
how much are the tickets, right?
Mhm. Okay, sure. Then what? Where is the concert?
Okay, where is the concert, right?
Um, what time does the concert start?
Okay, the next one.
Um, what time will the concert? Um, how or no?
Okay, I think mm, probably is when, right? Instead of what time. Just a moment, please. Okay. Okay, let's work, please. Um, okay, let's continue, please. Well, part of our grammar in the platform was about, well, generally, okay, the W review questions, right? Different kind of questions, W questions, and then we have relative pronouns and clauses. Just let me show you something. Um, okay, over here we have relative pronouns and relative clauses. I have a friend who comes from Japan. Japan is a country. This is, for example, there is an example. When we talk about relative pronouns and clauses, we use a subject relative clause to give more information about people, places, or things. For example, I have a friend who comes. This is a relative clause, who comes from Japan. Japan is a country that, for example, also we use that has an interesting history. And relative clauses help us to make two sentences into one. I have a friend, she comes from Japan. Japan is a country and it has an interesting history. Okay, and the other one is subject relative clauses begin with subject relative pronouns. Who and that are relative pronouns, for example, right? And we use who and that with people. Amy is a student. She's studying English. Who and that are the subjects of relative clauses, right? Especially when we talk about people. And this is a sushi bar, for example. It's always crowded. So there is one example. Well, that those are relative pronouns and relative, especially relative clauses that we can talk with. Okay, and well, I will show you. I was about to open my presentation, but I think we have 7 minutes. We're gonna see if we can do in that time. But just let me do something, please. Here. Sorry. Okay, let me share please my screen. We will start with some basic stuff of relative clauses. Well, when we talk about relative clauses, we have something here. For example, relative clauses with who, that, and which. For example, last week we had a party and a lot of people came. Everybody enjoyed it, but instead of that, we are talking about people, right? And who and that we can use. Everybody who came to the party enjoyed it, and we are talking about people who, right? And who came to the party? We're talking about the people, and that's instead of people, we're using who. And a clause is a part of a sentence, of course. A relative clause tells us which person or thing or what kind of person or thing the speaker means. The woman who lives next door to me, or in this case, who lives next door to me tells us which woman, or people who complain all the time. Who complain all the time tells us what kind of people. Okay, and we use who in a relative clause for people, not things. The woman who lives next door to me is a doctor, for example, right? Or I don't like people who complain all the time. I'm changing all of them for people who, right? An architect is someone who designs buildings. And we have what was the name of the person who called, right? That's very common. And also sometimes we can use that. For example, the woman that lives next to me is a doctor, right? Not which, but we use that. Sometimes you must use who, not that people in this case, but usually who or that it is possible to use. Okay, let's continue with the next one. And also relative clauses with over there are the other way of using that. When we are talking about things, we use that or which. Okay, also in a relative clause. For things are which, right? But for people, who and that only. But for things, we can use that or which. I don't like stories that have unhappy endings, for example, right? That. Or I don't like stories which have unhappy endings. It's possible to use which as well. Grace works for a company that makes furniture, or a company which makes a furniture, because we're talking about a thing. And the machine that broke down is working again now, or the machine which broke down. So in these examples, that is more usual than which, but sometimes you must use which. Okay, and the last way of using relative pronouns, over there we have in relative clauses, use who, that, or which, not he, she, they, it. Okay, we can use, for example, here. I met a Canadian woman at the party. She's an English teacher. And I met a Canadian woman who is an English teacher, right? One sentence, not two sentences like the first one. I can't find the key. They were on the table, right? Or where are the keys that were on the table? So not the keys they were, right? Where are the keys that were on the table? Just that. Okay. Well, and so I don't know if you have any questions. By the way, the activities are available, please, on the platform, and you have to check out that in order not to miss any activities that you have to complete. I don't know if you have some questions, Enzo.
Not the
Okay, I was a bit distracted today. I'm sorry with some couple of things, but okay, I will send the survey. Okay, and you can check the survey. So we're gonna see each other on Monday in the call. I hope everything's okay. Have a very nice weekend, and we're gonna see each other on Monday. Can you see the survey? Is it possible for you to check that?
it's done, teacher.
Thank you, Enzo. Thanks for being in the class. See you on Monday. Bye bye. Good night.
Good night, teacher.
Good night. Bye bye.